Hello students, today will be discuss about essay on right to information. Okay, यानी RTI. How to RTI stands for the right to information. The right to information is a part of fundamental rights under Article 19 first of the Constitution. Article 19 first says that every citizen of India has freedom of speech and expression as early as in 1976. The Supreme Court said that people cannot speak or experts unless they knew that right to information, therefore embedded in Article 19. The Supreme Court further observed India is a democracy, people are the masters. The masters therefore have right to know how the governments are functioning. Further, every citizen right to know how the governments are functioning. Further, every citizen pays taxes, even a beggar on the street pays tax when he buys a piece of soap from the market. The citizen of India therefore have a right to know how the money is being spent. These three principles were laid down by the Supreme Court while saying that RTI is a part of our fundamental rights. Next, Rti Act 2005. In order to exercise this fundamental right, we need machinery on process. The Right to Information Act 2005, which became effective on the 13th October 2005, provide this machinery. In fact, Rti to Information Act does not give any new right. It simply lays down the Process. Information Act 2005 empowers every citizen to ask any questions from government or seek any information, to take copies of any government's documents, to inspect any government documents, to inspect the government workers, and to take samples of materials of any government work. The Control Rti Act extends to the whole of India except the state Jammu and Kashmir. All bodies which are contributed under the Constitution or under any law or under any government notification, or all bodies include NGOs which are on controlled or substantially financed by government, are covered under the Rti Act 2005. Purpose of Rti. Democracy requires an informed citizenry, transparency of information which are vital to its functioning, and also to contact corruption and to hold governments and their instrumentalists account to the government. The Rti Act 2005 provides an opportunity for every citizen secure access to information under the control of public authorities in order to promote transparency and accountability in the working of every public authority. In fact, Rti does not create any information, it rather brings truth public domain. It just removes curtains and brings truth in public domain. Is very necessary for the proper functioning of democracy. The entire system has become so rotten that if we do not do our bit, it would never improve. Next है reduction in corruption and malpractices. There are more than countries in the world which have Rti laws. There are 9 states in India which had Rti law before the coming of Rti Act 2005. Most countries like the US have realized the importance of RTI. These countries are already spending huge resources to make their governments transparent. These governments save more than they spend due to reduction in corruptions and malpractices. Next, a working of law. It is for the first time in the history of independent India that there is a law which casts a direct accountability on the officer for non-performance. If the concerned officer does not provide information in a time, a penalty of Rs 250 per day per delay can be imposed by the information commissioner. If the information provided in false, a penalty of a maximum of Rs 25,000 can be imposed. A penalty can also be imposed for providing incomplete or for rejecting an application for malified reason. This fine is deducted from the officer's personal salary. Next, applications and fees. In order to seek information from any government department, you have to draft your application on a normal sheet of paper and submit it by post or in person to the public information officer. The prescribed fees of Rs 10 or fees as prescribed by the concerned state may be paid in a cash or through demand draft, Indian postal order, banker's check. Some state governments have prescribed some head of account. You are required to deposit fees in that account. Next, exemptions from disclosure in information. Notwithstanding anything contained in the Rti Act, there is small we no obligation to give any citizen information disclosure of which would affect the sovereignty and integrity of India, the security, strategy, scientific or economic interest of the state, relations with foreign state, or lead to incitement of an offense. There are some other informations which are exempted from disclosure, and these have been underlined in clause of the Rti Act 2005. Last, a conclusion. Thus, the right of information is a very strong weapon on the hands of the public to check corruption in public life. It has brought a new transparency in the style of governments. The Right to Information 2005 is an act of the Parliament of India to provide for setting out the practical regime of right to information for citizens. Simply put, it allows citizens of the country to request information from any public authority about its work, action, etc. The act aims at promoting transparency and accountability in the working of every public authority. The act extends to the whole of India except the state of Jammu and Kashmir. The Act prescribes a simple procedure to obtain information. Though some public authorities have their own format, there is no compulsion to stick to the prescribed format. Identify the department you want the information from. Some subjects fall under the purview of state governments or local authority such as the municipal administration, panchayat, while others are handled by the central government. On a sheet of white paper, write out the application by hand. Type it in English, Hindi, or the official language of the area. You can also ask the public information officer to put in writing. Address the application to the state central public information officer. Write the name of the officer from which you seek information. The complete correct address cleanly mention seeking information under the Rti Act 2005 in your subject line. State your request in the form of specification, detailed questions, and mention the period in your request falls into. Ask for documents or extracts of documents. If required to obtain documents, the applicant has to make a payment of Rs 2 per page. The law mandates the information be provided within 30 days. If this does not happen, you can file an appeal. The first appeal should be addressed to the appellate authority with the name of the department and the address. The appellate authority is mandated to revert in the 30 days from the date of receipt of the appeal. If the appellate authority fails to reply, further appeals lies with the Information Commission, the Chief Information Commissioner, State, Central Information Commission. It goes without saying that an informed citizen is better equipped to keep necessary vigil on the instrument of governments and make the government more accountable to the government. The act is a big step towards make the citizens informed about the activities of the government. State your request in the form of specific detailed questions and mentions in his period. Your request falls into ask for documents or extracts of documents. If required to obtain documents, the applicant has to make a payment of Rupee per page. Take a photocopy of the application and keep one with you for future reference. Send your application by post or hand it in personally to the department concerned. Don't forget to get an acknowledgement. Provide your full name and address, contact details, email address, and sign the application clearly. Put in the date and the name of your town. The Act prescribes a simple procedure to obtain information, though some people authorities have their own formats. There is no compulsion stick to be prescribed format. State your request in the form of specific detailed questions and mention the period your request falls into. Thank you for watching.